Yes, people, nice and decent people. Welcome back to the Around the League show. Apologies for last Friday. The broski couldn't be here, but the show went on. But now he's back. Man, like Gianni is here. What you telling me, bro?
Thank God it's Friday, bro. Thank God it's Friday. Have a nice little kickback, and relax. I think Mr. Johnny Walker's calling my name tonight. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I got some tonic wine in my Arsenal cup as well. It's a little early for me to go hard, so I'm just gonna like take it easy until later because they got this hot ball bingo session going on Friday nights at this casino down the street from my house. And my wife, she loves that type of shit, right? Where you get to buy these hot balls, and if you bingo on one of the hot balls, you get an extra $500. You know, I'm an old guy, yeah, but I'm the youngest one in there, and it makes me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but people being walkers and that, like they're near death. Like, mama, you're close.
Everybody loves gambling, bro. Everybody loves gambling. Doesn't matter what age you are. Everybody loves gambling.
They in there, they smoking, they drink. I mean, I guess when you're close to the end, you're like, fuck it. You know, live your life. But that's what's going on here later. So that's where I'll be heading when I get up out of here, man. But bro, I've been watching some sports today, man. And did you catch the Milano game?
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim opened his account, his Italian account with a 2-0 win. Gonzalo Ramos slotting right in. Like, I wanted to ask you this last week, right? So the past 4 Scudettes, it's been Inter, Napoli, Napoli, Inter, Napoli, right? They've been traded. So it's your turn, bro.
I don't think so.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's in the cards. You know what I'm saying?
It should be, but that's why I didn't want Allegri, because Allegri over these last few years has proven that he's not up to the task anymore. You know, I think what people fail to realize with Allegri is Allegri won those 5 Scudettes off the back of the fact that Conte built a foundation, and it was a much different league. When Allegri won all those Scudettes, the rest of the league didn't have the money that they're at right now. Napoli has grown tremendously in financial situations. Inter has straightened out their finances. Milan has straightened up somewhat of their finances. As we saw, they were the big spenders in Italy this year. So I don't know. I just don't trust Allegri. When you look at how he handled Milan last year with 1 game a week, you know, this is the same guy who said, you know what? Chiesa's the hottest Italian attacking talent right now. You know what we're going to do to make him better? We're going to make him a wing back. You know, so it's like that's where it's like with him. I'm not sold on him yet. I'm really not. And all the other problems that we got going on with players as well, with De Bruyne and everybody else, it's just a shambles with what we're doing. I mean, this is the same guy who also said now, he goes, yeah, I think Conte's right. We should spend $50 million on Højlund. You know, if you think if Højlund's worth $50 million, we got problems to start with just off the bat.
Yeah, man. I was watching it and I'm like, damn, Milano out here. You know, they should get the 3 points today. But you know, I'm actually rooting for Amorim because I want Amorim. If say Amorim go win the damn Scudette, then you look at Man United and be like, hey, it wasn't him. It was them players. You know what I'm saying? So something was wrong. But yeah, man, I was watching that, and then I was also watching PSG Lille. Right, I was flipping back and forth, and I see PSG 2-0 up, and I actually wrote down PSG losing to Lille something or nothing. That's what I was gonna ask you. So I flipped the damn game. We come back 2 minutes later, the shit said 2-2. I was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, 2-2. Like PSG calling back 2-2 on the back of Lille almost upsetting them. I was like, damn, League One. I was give us a storyline or something, but now it's even with that, PSG is still gonna walk that league, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're gonna walk that shit. Now, big up to everyone who's locked in. Appreciate Quaja, Bluebirds here. Big up to Too Short. Big you up, man. Big up to Hugo. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Big up, man. Big you up. Big up to Jagans. Big up Sean.
Yeah. I think Como's going to be the team that's going to be running Inter close for the Scudetto this year. The 2 signings they just made were massive, massive signings. I would not write off Como yet.
You don't think the Champions League is going to hold them back?
I honestly don't know if they'll qualify out of the league phase, and if they drop out of Europe at the time in December to where they only have one game a week going into January. I think that's what could carry them through for them to possibly win the Scudetto. I think Inter overall has gotten a lot better. I think Inter is going to be making a deep run in the Champions League this year. I think that's almost mandatory for Kivu after winning the double last year.
Yeah, they're prime for it. They're prime. But I don't know I just don't know if the Como squad is big enough to even get to February, March when the knockouts start. Wow.
They got two guys in every position at least. If they can maintain to not get injured in the first half, they can do it. They got a good team.
Yeah, because I think they're going to qualify. They're at least going to be one of the top 24 teams. They're going to be 9 through something. They're not going to be.
Hey, we'll see. Them Italian teams in Champions League these last few years have been dog shit.
Not when they got throwaway teams in there like Sabah and like when you're playing spades and you get a card that you're just going to throw away. You're just going to throw it out there. That's what some of these clubs are. Like,
when you get your 3 of diamonds and you just got to get rid of them, motherfucker.
It's useless. Yeah, like you're just here as a space holder. That's what some of these teams are. So for that, I see Como rising to the level of over at least 10 teams. So that would put them right there in playoff contention. I think that could hurt their chances, man. Because if it was only 18 teams like the Bundesliga where they only play, but they play 38. I think it might be too much for Como, and it's Fabregas's first. I have to apply the same energy to him that I got to put on Iraola and Carrick and all these other men who's never managed on the big stage before. You know what I mean? So, that's what
I don't know, man. He's got a good experienced team. That's why I think they may surprise some people this year. I said on my City A show last week, I have Como finishing second this year with these 2 recent signings they just picked up. They just picked up Moise Kean and Samuel Ricci from Milan. I think that tandem of Nico Paz and Moise Kean is going to be deadly, especially in City A.
Yeah, I hear it. Big up to Chike. Big up, man. Big up to the Liverpool prophet. Chike said we can't. Let me ask you this, man. You think the criticism of Lombard Jr. is a little too much? He done made a couple of errors and they're ready. I see Mike Wilbon ready to throw bro in the bin already. You know what I'm saying? He's only 21 years old. Like, what's going on? Is baseball becoming like Premier League where man make a couple of errors or something, then they're a flop or they're a bust?
They're trying to. I mean, it's basically right now, baseball's in a state to where everybody's trying to milk the most amount of money out of baseball because of the strike that's looming coming into next year. I personally don't agree with it. I think baseball should remain the way that it is. I don't like this base cap, hard cap crap that they're trying to bring into baseball. I honestly don't. I think if we're going to do anything about it, the only thing that should be done is these nonsensical bullshit things that we've seen the Dodgers pull now, which is this, let's defer everybody's payments until they're off the books and we'll just figure out a way to come up with a lump sum of cash to pay these guys off. I think that needs to be outlawed because, if it was truly allowed, we know this being Yankee fans. If the Yankees would have signed Ohtani to the same type of deal, the whole world would have melted down. You'd have thought the Yankees would have committed terrorist attacks in other countries and shit. Like everybody hates the Yankees with that. So for me, I don't know, man. I think people are just trying to start up a little bit too much hoopla in baseball right now to why they're doing that. I think it's because everybody knows that this strike is about to come down the pipe, but I think they're just trying to make a mockery of themselves to try to come up with some money because baseball, these sports writers in America, baseball carries them through in the summertime when basketball, football, and everything else is off. And I think if they're going to be worried about not having that next year, they're trying to figure out what they're going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, slow news cycle. But they were hammering them, man. They were hammering. I'm like, bro, it's 21 years old. Let the kid.
Yeah.
And I think we've had at least 20 different people play shortstop since Jeter. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that position's been locked down by someone, and he's 21. Just like allow it, low the youth. You know what I'm saying? But as I look across the standings across MLB, right? Because we don't talk MLB much, and I see the White Sox, make the playoffs. I see the Cubs in contention. I mean, what would a crosstown classic do for baseball?
For Chicago?
I think for baseball, I think it would be.
Bro, first off, you would need to send the Marines into Chicago if the Cubs and Sox went to the World Series. Yeah. That would be the most dangerous 14-day period in Chicago history if the Sox and the Cubs went to the World Series together. That would be an absolute insanity.
That would be bigger than the Subway Series, bro. It would be different. This would be different. Great, man. Because we've seen a Subway Series before,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's been a while, right? It's been 26 years, but
yeah,
it happened. I think a crosstown classic would be massive, not just for Chicago, bro. It'd be massive for baseball.
It would be. It'd be massive for baseball. Listen, for me, I want to see a Cubs-Yankees World Series. That's what baseball needs. Baseball needs two of the biggest teams to play each other. Yeah, you got the Dodgers and the Yankees before, but Cubs-Yankees is different because the Cubs, with the history of them being the ultimate underdog for all the years that they went without winning a World Series, and then, the Yankees moniker is the evil empire, as everybody likes to call the New York Yankees. I think that would be the best one, but Cubs-Sox would be absolutely insane if that happened. The bad thing is, that'd be the worst thing for the White Sox if they made the World Series. It'd be the absolute worst thing because then that means Jerry Reinsdorf will buy out the guy who's trying to buy the White Sox and make them a bigger team, and Reinsdorf will continue the scams that he's been running with the White Sox for 20-odd years. So I don't know. Yeah.
And with all that being said, right, it's going to end up being Tampa Bay, Atlanta. It's going to be Rays and Braves in the World Series, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, and there's low ratings. I think that's going to be a dead series anyway. But, big up to Darren. Big up Liverpool Prophet. Big up Wahaha. Big up everyone. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the time. Bro, some people may have to reevaluate their picks. You know how we did like the individual awards and who's going to be the playmaker of the season in the Premier League and all that. Who did you pick for playmaker of the year? Did you pick Turkey?
For young player of the year?
Nah, for playmaker of the year, like player of the season, or who's going to get the most?
Player of the season, I said Cherokee would be in the mix for it if he's getting the starting time and if City's going to go direct, which by the game today, you saw Enzo Maresco ball starting up where City's looking a lot more direct than the sideways passing with him in there. I said he would be in and around it if he's getting continual starts. If he wasn't going to get continual starts, then I said that I think Cherokee would be out of it. And that's when I made the joke that if Cherokee doesn't get continual starts, screw Julian Alvarez. Let's go put $100 million down and get Cherokee away from Manchester City. But that kid, I think he's the best player in the Premier League, if I'm being quite honest with you, especially to watch, those of us who enjoy the Ronaldinhos and those types of players of the world. I think Ryan Cherokee's the best player in the league, in my opinion. And today he was putting on a show.
Yeah, man. Oh, fast feet Ryan. No, he was when he get in that box, man. It looks like element of David Silva. David Silva a little bit 5'7", wasn't even a big guy, wasn't strong. But once he got into that box, you couldn't touch him, man. He had 3 Crystal Palace players around him, and no one wanted to put a foot. No one wanted to do this. And I'm glad I put him in my fantasy team today because I knew he was going to cook. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, I think I might have to change because I picked Szoboszlai to be like, just because of his usage.
Mm-hmm.
That he was going to be a key player for Liverpool. But this Turkey guy, because he had to start. I don't know what the hell Maresca was on with this Foden thing. And earlier on in the show, man, 15 minutes in, I got a fair foul for you.
Okay.
Now that Turkey is driving the bus, right? Foden will start to cook again. Was that fair or foul?
I don't know. That's like a 50-50. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Because when Kevin De Bruyne was driving the bus, or David Silva or any other one, Foden was cooking, get PFA Player of the Year. Now that they realize that he ain't it and that Turkey is driving the bus, Foden is now allowed to be a passenger. This is when he cooks. You know what I mean? And if there's a time, because Turkey's that guy now. Like we know.
Yeah.
Now, Maresca tried to start Foden in the preseason and tried to start him against what was that, Bournemouth?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I can't. Like, if he had given Bournemouth 90 minutes of that, they probably win 4-1 just like they did today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm watching the interview. They're interviewing Erling Haaland, who had 2 goals. They're interviewing Turkey, who had 2 goals. But that damn reporter could not help himself. How great was Phil today? And I was like, these fuckers can't help themselves with the Foden glaze. Because if you remember the international break when he gave Eze a 2-yard pass and Eze slapped it in the top bins. How about that pass from Phil? Why do they love this little fucker so much, man?
I don't know.
Because Waha said he was rubbish.
He wasn't that good of a player.
He missed 2 goals. Like Elliot Anderson gave him one on a platter on his favorite left foot. He kicks it over the bar.
Here, I got a fair foul for you.
He missing that too.
I got a fair foul for you. Do you think if he fails this year that Foden could end up being one of those reprogrammed players by Unai Emery next year at Villa?
He just signed a new deal, didn't he? Like he just signed a new deal.
That doesn't mean anything. I think if City doesn't win the league again this year, they're going to go into panic mode that they haven't won in 3 straight years. And if Foden's a passenger the whole season, like I could see Aston Villa going on and trying to spend some money to go get Foden. Because for me, I think that's what Villa's missing is that number 10 creator since they got rid of both Tielemans and Rodgers. This Manzambi kid, I'm not buying. It's Freiburg, man. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? I don't see it. I could see Foden. The only other team that I could potentially see Foden like going to was maybe Newcastle. If Newcastle like pull a Mazza and end up getting into Europe, but I could see Foden wearing an Aston Villa jersey next year, and City's like, you know what? We'll just sell you for pure profit. You've been shit for 2.5 years. We can't risk this anymore. We got to win.
You know what? That's fair. It is a fair. The problem I have with that fair is that I don't think Unai will be there next year in Villa. I think it crashes and burn this year for him, unfortunately, and I think it will. It's not going to end well for him because I think they're in for a tough year, man.
I agree.
A very tough year.
I got another fair foul. Is Unai Emery the best manager in the Premier League if he gets Nico Jackson banging?
I mean,
if he gets Nico Jackson putting up Ollie Watkins numbers with the way they play, I might have to be like, okay, Unai, you proved it.
I mean, shit, he gave Abba a golden boot, didn't he? You know, because right now he's in the top 3 managers in the league for me, and that would be another. Yeah, listen, Nico Jackson, my God, I mean, because he has Nico Jackson and Garnacho.
Yeah,
you know, if that, yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think it might crash and burn for him this year. You know, Nico Jackson and Garnacho is crazy work in your front line, especially when you've lost. Because I think what's his name, Tielemans had mastered his system. Like he knew how Unai Emery wanted to play, and he was, because you saw what happened when he was out the team last year with injury. So listen, Unai got a big job on his hand, but unfortunately,
he needs a winger still. They just missed out on Leal. Leal's going to Galatasaray. They just missed out on him. So I think they need a left winger, because if you're telling me you're going into this season that your front line is going to be Jackson, McGinn, Buendia, and Garnacho, good freaking luck. Mm-hmm. That's you're walking in with a gun shooting nothing but blanks in a real gunfight with that team, man.
Yeah, I mean, they added some experience with that German guy, right, in their midfield.
He's been shit for the last 2 years with Bayern. That's why I didn't understand that signing.
Yeah. Speaking of don't understand that signing, like I put it in the title of the video, and I've been reading up on this shit ever since I saw it because it annoyed the shit out of me. Because I've mentioned this before, like it's Rashford in it, but they just don't want to tell us yet. It's gonna be deadline day, but now I'm hearing Rashford is refusing Arsenal to fight for his place at Man United. Now, does he have a place at Man United to even fight for?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think that ship has sailed? It's not going back to your toxic ex?
Listen, I think the thing is this. Rashford is basically the English version of Gabriel Jesus. He doesn't want to lose that $300,000 a week. I think that's the only reason why he's trying to pull the fight for Manchester United. Plus, when you look at it from terms, who's really taken over that left wing? Dorgu looked good at times, but he's still a youngster learning his trade. Ahmad, I think, hasn't been up to par, really. And when you look at how they've been playing, it's basically been like Emblemo has been more of the striker from what I've seen. So, seeing Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, and Cunha underneath Emblemo, I could see him staying there as far as all that. I don't know. Listen, if I was Rashford, in all honesty, I would be the one trying to get to Aston Villa. If I'm being honest with you, that left wing is gaping open over there at Villa, and really, that's a team where if he goes there, it's all going to be about him. And I think he could revitalize his career if he went back to Villa a second time. This is also LFC brought it up. I'd say the same thing for Grealish. I would say go back to Villa. They need a number 10 and a play creator. They're talking about this Mbaye kid from PSG again. We're talking about an 18-year-old. People just automatically assume that, he came from here. He's 18. That doesn't mean anything, man. We've seen plenty of top young talent come to different leagues and absolutely shit the bed to where it's like, okay, now what's the direction you're going to go with? Like that Mzambi kid. You've said this all the time. These guys from the Bundesliga don't hit like they used to. Mm-hmm. It's not like what it was when you would get Michael Ballack or some of those guys from the Bundesliga coming over. Now, the Bundesliga has fallen way the hell off as far as producing good players to come to the Premier League. And when you look at it, I think Mzambi and this kid combined are 115 million. That's a lot of money to be putting your faith in an 18 and 20-year-old to try to carry your way through to try to keep Unai there. So I don't know. I think Rashford wants to stay there because for Carrick, it would be a good thing for Carrick. But if I'm Rashford, I would try to get back to Villa.
So I guess the question I'm asking, or the question I have, is when have we ever seen a player of Rashford's stature by name and salary and all this go on a 2-year loan and still return to the club? No, you go 2-year loan, it's usually over for you, right?
Yeah.
Now, Saliba went on a 3-year loan, but he was a young player in development.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Does he even have a place? You fight for your place, bro. They sent you on 2 consecutive loans, and you did well on your loans. And instead of picking up your option, Barcelona elected for Anthony Gordon. You know what I mean? So I don't. There's just some of these things that I don't understand. But I mean, there are Arsenal fans on both sides of the fence, on the sensible side, on the delusional side, that are saying what Darren said earlier in the chat, that he would take Rashford over Martinelli. You know what I'm saying? And the thing with the number 19 shirt's vacant, bro. You know,
see, this is why I said we should have never got rid of Trossard. I'd have rather kept Trossard than both of them fucking bums. if I'm being honest with you, I don't want Rashford at Arsenal. I do not want Rashford at Arsenal. If this is the guy that we're going to after everybody that we've quote unquote been talked to, nah, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna be pissed.
I think it will happen, man. As long as he doesn't, until the transfer window closed. Matter of fact, I have a stream scheduled for when it's closed on Monday, whenever the first is. If you are free, please join me, because that's when we'll.
I think it's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, Tuesday the first. Yeah, whatever the first is, I got a stream schedule where now that the transfer window is closed, we can talk the football, right? Because it's going to be after the deadline day madness, and I don't think he stays at Man United, bro. I think Arteta loves him a fucking Captain Save-A-Hole mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted to rescue Kai Havertz. There is no other reason why he is an Arsenal player. Same thing for Nani Madueke. And wouldn't he love to resurrect Rashford from the dead, because 140 million plus is what you're looking at to improve your left side dramatically, right? Rashford on loan is a very cheap option for him to bounce between him and Solis and get us through the season. I think it could happen. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it could happen. My thing is see, here's a flip side of this. If Rashford comes to Arsenal, doesn't bang, and we don't win the league, what happens to his career?
He ends up like Lingard. That's what happened. They loaned him to West Ham. He did well there, just like Rashford did well at Barcelona. But then he went back to United to fight for his place, like he said. And where's he now?
Yep.
Where is that brother now?
I think he's in Japan.
You know what I'm saying? But like the MLS don't even want bro, or he's gonna end up like Zinchenko. The MLS don't even want Zinchenko. Right. And I thought he would be on an MLS roster somewhere. You know, I just saw Zaha leave Charlotte FC to go back to, forgot where the back he went. I think he went to Transponsor. He went back somewhere. You know, so like guys that coming to the MLS and leaving the MLS, and Zinchenko or none of these men can't even get a kick. You know, it's mad.
Yeah. No,
Villa,
I don't want him, man. I don't want him there.
Oh, and Baez going to Villa.
Yeah.
For 55 mil. PSG fucked us around ramping up the price to 70. Hey, listen, there was one more big bomber to drop in this window, don't you think? There is one more transfer that's gonna make people scratch their head between now and Tuesday. Big up, Big
Well,
C.
did you see the Alvarez nonsense? I guess there was news that came out today that basically the higher ups at Atletico basically told him either you got to go to Arsenal or you're staying here, and you got to figure it the hell out then after that. So I don't know.
Big up to Big Tweech. I just know that I think Atletico know that real Barcelona ain't gonna cough up the money like that because the player is actively twerking for him. I think they look at us and be like, "What team out there we can fleece for some money?" And it would be us. You know?
Yeah. I think you don't think Barcelona would spend the money?
Not 100. Okay. How much you think Atletico will accept as a fair market value? Right? They wouldn't reject this bid. Like, well, how much you think is a legit a number that we could send to Atletico right now and be like, deal? They would say deal on the first bid.
Oh, I think 100.
Yeah.
They're asking for 150, but I think if you send them 100, they're selling.
Yeah, I don't think Barcelona coughs up 100. I don't
you think so?
I don't think they view him that way. No, I don't think they.
I think they do.
Because I think if they did, he would have been a Barcelona player already.
I think my whole take on this whole situation is I think it's the new ownership at Atletico Madrid, with also the fact that Berta's not there anymore to try to guide these guys. It's basically a whole new front office at Atletico. I think they're in over their head trying to do what they're doing. You know, I think what they're trying to do is trying to etch Atletico Madrid and trying to sell Atletico Madrid as, you know, our intention is to make us, you know, get into the conversation with Barcelona and Real Madrid, you know, as that 2.5. They're never going to be the big three. I mean, they're technically called the big three in Spain, but that Gulf, there's the Pacific Ocean is between Atletico Madrid to Real Madrid and Barca. And I think what they're trying to do is try and, you know, do the old, you know, pound your chest, we're Atletico, rah, 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 and all this other bullshit. And they're kind of looking stupid for it because, you know, financially you can't keep up with those two teams. If you're going to get 100 million for them, you should have just took the deal and said it is what it is. You know, there's no guarantee the guy bangs either. I mean, you know, everybody said, remember when he went to Atletico, everybody was saying, oh, he might be the missing piece for Simeone to be able to go get a third title, and he's been dog shit with them. Let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah. So another fair or foul for you. If we sign Julian Alvarez today, he immediately becomes our best attacker. Fair or foul?
Ooh. I guess by default because the bar's so low. I guess. But I'm really interested to see how this ends up coming out, how this ends up playing, because you know what's going to happen. He's going to the left wing.
Yeah.
You know he's going to the left wing. And that's where it now becomes a question mark of, you know, I think Alvarez is better in the center of the park, but I think Alvarez is one of those players like, I think he's better as one of those like secondary strikers, not an out and out number 10, but he's like a little bit more further forward. And I'm just wondering how that plays out with us. Cause you know, he ain't dropping Odegaard, you know, now that everybody's glazing Odegaard, oh, he's back and all this shit, you know? So I don't know. I think he does come in and he is our best attacker on paper because the bar's so low, but I don't know. I mean, you and me talked about it on Sammy's show, man. I don't want this guy. He's twerking for freaking Barcelona. At this point, you basically might as well give him a stripper pole and he's going to strip for Barcelona to try to get the hell over there, man. I don't want nothing of that sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's fully naked. But because none of our attackers are great, I think it's a fair statement. Because if you look at the team of the season, those team of the season, we got what, 6 players in there?
And
5 or 6 players in there, and that's what the conversation ends, right? Because I was talking to someone and I was saying to them, okay, cool. In a Premier League game, in these Premier League games, we can give you a midfield, or we've given you a midfield of Odegaard, Skelly, and Bruno G. That can beat a lot of Premier League teams, right? Mm-hmm. Off the bench, we can bring you Eze, we can bring you Declan Rice, and we can bring you a World Cup winner in Zubimendi from hyping shit up, right? That midfield is going to win you a lot of games. Our defense, you know, we can give you the defense that we've given you now without Saliba, without Timber in it, and then we can bring in that's good for our defense. That's where it stops. When we get to the forward line, you know, it's the conversation gets a little sticky because we don't have an abundance of talent going forward, especially the way we play football. So yeah, I think it's a fair statement to make. And if they're looking at it from that angle, like he immediately becomes our best attacker in front of this midfield and this defense, we could do something. But yeah, I think we're getting fleeced, man. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'd rather take, you know, they're talking about City wants to go get Njai as kind of like a swap between Grealish to go back to Everton and get Njai. I'd rather take Njai at this point. You know, you don't, if let's say Gyökeres is a bad season, right? Let's say Gyökeres is a bad season and that is still looming over our head, that the striker position is very iffy. I'd rather spend 60 million and get Njai, and then you walk back in next year with the 40 extra or however much extra money. You know, they're talking 120, 130 million for Alvarez. I'd rather bank that money for a year, run with Njai, which I think if you add Njai to the team, we're still head and shoulders better than everybody in the league at this point right now. I'd rather walk into next season. If you've won again and you get this next, you know, an extra 200 million like we did this last year with winning the league, I'd rather walk into next season with 70 plus million in the bank already, and now you go get the superstar striker or whatever you need to move on from Havertz and Gyökeres if either of them two don't bang. I really just don't see the point of it. Because like what I said with Sammy, we buy Alvarez, right? Let's say we end up buying Alvarez. If this asshole wants to go to Barcelona, and like what you're saying, you don't think Barcelona rates him for the amount of money, so now you're going to get fucked. Now you're basically walking into another situation where you spend big money on a player, he don't want to be here, and now you got to try to figure out how to get rid of him. And Barcelona's like, well, I don't know, because you know Arsenal will be good to put, if we sign Julian Alvarez for that much money, you know we'll be good to put him on £275,000 a week. You know that's going to happen. And that was the whole reason why they didn't want Rashford, was because of Rashford's contract. So if you end up making that mistake, now what? Oh, we bought Julian Alvarez, we won a league, but he doesn't want to be here. But because his contract's too big, now what? We're gonna make a 40 million loss on the sale because the player doesn't want to be here. That's why for me it doesn't make any sense to get him.
Yeah, big up, man. Listen, big up to Big Preach, big up to Chike. I see your MLB super chat. I got him starred. We'll come back to that when we jump back on the MLB. But big up, man. Big up to Jagans. So did Zaha bang in the MLS? He did well this first year.
Yeah.
I think he scored like 10 goals or something for Charlotte FC, but the second year, I think him and the coach fell out because his numbers weren't numbering. And I think bro was a free agent. And I think they mutually terminated. Monster says Athletic bought him for about 70. I swear it was. I thought they paid like 90 for him.
Yeah, I think it was like 94, something around there. Yeah.
And City turned big profit on that because they bought it from Liverpool for like 14.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole lot of money. So I hear that. Binksy said, yeah, we're moving like a drama queen. Arteta won't like that. But I mean, Gyökeres did the same shit. Gyökeres down tools as well, Binksy. And I don't think Gyökeres was his first choice or his favorite, and he still accepted, Victor. So this guy comes in, may improve our chances of, doing something in the Champions League. But Alvarez, yeah, the 500 million euro release clause. It's right. This is why even bother put that in there? No one is gonna pay that. So it's like that's the club pledging their allegiance to you, which even makes it more egregious that you're out here naked for Barcelona. And,
you know what this reminds me of, bro? This reminds me of Dwight Howard when he wanted to get out of Orlando. You remember that bullshit?
He was confused, wasn't he? He was so confused. He didn't know what to say.
Well, he was holding Orlando hostage and wanted he got the coach fired. He wanted 2 players traded, brought more players in so the whole team would focus on him, and he still ended up opting to go to LA. It feels the same thing all over again with Alvarez.
Was it Van Gundy that he got fired?
Yeah, he got Van Gundy fired.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was. Yeah, he was. The media was having a field day with that because they would always put the camera in his face and ask him straight up, "Do you want to be?" And it was so cringe listening to his some of his interviews, man. I'm not gonna lie.
He was focused on getting his back blown out in LA when he was gonna.
Yeah, right. He got that, so he went to LA and then Houston, right? That was the path. He went LA then Houston. It wasn't.
Yeah,
he went LA.
Yeah, because he went to LA and then I think LA bought him out because that was when he screwed up his back again. And then him, Josh Smith, and Harden were the 3 tandem that
you can't say he screwed up his back after you just said he was getting his back blown out.
Well. But that him, Josh Smith, and Harden, if you remember, I think that was the 3 that came back from the 3-1 and knocked out the Clippers.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I think that was I think that's 2015. Shit, that's 11 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago, man. Dwight D12, somehow, I argue with people about this because they say, he's a Hall of Famer, and I have my Hall of Fame resume kind of higher for there were really good players who I think shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame, and I think that should be okay, right? I think we should start normalizing you have very good players, but Hall of Fame should be a different level.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And there's just so many guys getting in the Hall of Fame now where I don't think.
Listen, I'm a Chicago guy, and it hurts me to say this, but Derrick Rose should not go to the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. He should not go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, very good player, top player. Matter of fact, probably the most explosive point guard who is, because you can say Russell Westbrook.
He's arguably the biggest waste of talent in NBA history. When you look at what he was doing, those when you look at that period of the 3 years when he came into the league in 08, and then Mr. You guys know because you got rid of him, you guys won a title. That fucking bum Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau ran his ass into the ground and screwed the Bulls out of potentially maybe winning a title. But, I think Rose, youngest MVP and blah, blah, blah. Brother, he didn't win nothing. And he doesn't have the stats to be in the Hall of Fame. Big up views every single time.
I think, what do you think of the Bulls retiring his number? You think that should have been enough, or are you even in favor of them retiring his number?
No, I'm in favor. I'm in favor because he's a Chicago kid.
Yeah.
And Rose brought an energy back to the United Center for the Bulls that we haven't seen since the Jordan days. Whether the Bulls fans are over diluted with their fucking team, thinking that Bulls team was going to have a shot against the Miami Heat, that's a different conversation because the Bulls never had a shot at beating that Heat team. But at the end of the day, he deserves to get it. He deserves to get his jersey retired, I think. The only bad thing that I look at with Rose, looking back at it, is Derrick Rose's stardom has allowed the stupidity of the Bulls fans to continue. When you look at what's going on, the Bulls have no chance in hell of making the playoffs or even being a serious team for the foreseeable future. Yet somehow the only two teams that have a higher season ticket holder retention is the New York Knicks and the fucking Lakers. We have more season ticket holders in line to try to become season ticket holders for the Bulls than the goddamn Celtics. That's a problem.
Yeah. I think I'm number 18,554 on the wait list for Knicks.
For the Knicks?
Yeah. And 2 years ago, I was at 20,000 something. So in 2 years, I've gone out. So in about another 18 years, I might get a season ticket. You know what I'm saying? Big up to the assembled. So Clay to the Heat. What you saying? What you telling me? Good signing?
Yeah, I think he'll go. I think he'll go to the Heat.
Yeah. Now he's there. I think he signed today, or
he did already.
Yeah, I think he's about to sign, or it's a done. It's, for all intents and purposes, you know when Woj's version of a Here We Go.
Yeah, Woj is the Fabrizio
Here We
Romano.
Goes. Yeah, the new kid that he endorsed, this Shams, whoever, has said that Clay is going to be a Miami Heat. So it's going to be him, Giannis, and Bam running the Heat. Yeah, I think the Heat will do good regular season, but you know, I don't think they have.
They'll be a fourth. I think third or fourth seed.
Yeah, right around there.
Top two is going to be between the Knicks and Philly.
Yeah, big up to Uncle Views, man. Big you up every time. Tyson Mitchell, if Arsenal by Alvarez, he ends up at Barca with a discount within 3 years, a heavy discount too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, we could sign him, win the league, and the discount will still be there. While we see these Chelsea man will sign Enzo, and Enzo hasn't been great, and still they're about to pull 100 something. I don't know if they'll make a profit on it, but it's still 100 something.
No, they made a $20 million profit on him because they bought him for like 125. They flipped him for like 140, I think.
Yeah, a Club World Cup must mean a lot, bro. A Club World Cup must weigh heavy, where people are like, yo, this Enzo guy is, you know, because that's what we used to talk about, right? Hey, this club can offer Champions League football to the player. This club can. Now I'm seeing man run away from Champions League football at Villa to go play everywhere but Villa. You know what I'm saying? Man is going to Saudi to get away from Champions League football. Is that no longer a thing? That Champions League football no longer attractive to players to pull players in? What the hell's going on? Big up BX Gunner.
I think it is. It's just like the problem with Villa is, like I said, I think the jig is up. Villa and Newcastle just got hit with the same reality. Like, remember when who were the guys that were minority owners at Arsenal? They left, they went and took over Everton. Was it Usmanov and Mashiri?
I don't know about Mashiri. I know Usmanov though. I'm not
sure.
It
was Farhad Mashiri because he took over because Usmanov got sanctioned by the English government. You know, they tried their luck of trying to be that number 7 team, to try to be the team that's in between the big 6 and the rest of the pack. West Ham have tried to do it. You see what's happened to West Ham with them trying to do it. Villa and Newcastle just got the dose of reality of what it actually takes to try to bridge that gap. And I think the problem is that there's too many players that are like, you know what? We'll have Champions League for 1 year, but what's really going to be the future of this club? And I think that's the reason why they're jumping ship from Villa so fast right now. I think it's more so along the lines of they want more of the consistent teams. You know, Enzo, like, okay, well, I'm getting away from Chelsea, but I get to go to City. It's almost guaranteed. I mean, for right now, it is so far that City will be in Champions League every year. So I think it's that. I think it's like when you look at teams like Villa, the storybook, the facade that they've put on for the last 3 years is starting to come down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I think they're in trouble. I think they're in big
I do too.
Like Danny Green, he said, you know. Big up to the assembled. Big up to Sean.
Leave Danny Green alone.
Yeah. Big up Sean. Say, I'm actually surprised that Saudi club hasn't come for Alvarez and offered him stupid money on a 2-year deal, and then he goes to Barca the following summer. I think he's settled in Spain. I think his family, the language. I think the language thing is a big thing for him. You know, living in Spain and shit. Like I was listening to Big Steve, and Big Steve he works for the club, and he says that Alvarez, while he was at City, travels with an entourage of about 17, like the grandma, abuela and abuelo and everybody. So the aunt, so you have to kind of cater to him a little bit, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna, like teams will do that for certain players, you know what I'm saying? But you have to bring the goods. But I don't think he's off the level yet. Big up the Assemble said, question, since Nasri played as a natural left wing, who have Arsenal had on the left that naturally play there and not converted there? I guess Alexis.
Yeah.
You know?
Was Smith Rowe an original 10, or was he started out as a winger with us?
I think he started as a 10 and ended out left.
Okay, then he was the only other one that I was thinking of. Alexis Sanchez is the last one. I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah. And Alexis is more like a wide forward, if you will. I don't even want to call him a winger. He was like I'm a forward, but I'm not going to play with my back to the goal. So let me drip.
Oh, no, you know what? Podolski.
Lucas.
Podolski.
Yeah.
He was better. He was better as a striker. I think Wenger fucked up big time by removing him from the striker role when we had him at that time. But he was also a left winger because he played the left wing with Germany at times with Bayern. So I would say Podolski and Alexis are probably the only two since Nasri.
Yeah. Big up to TK and the super chat.
Well, he was shit also, Gervinho. He was just dog shit.
I'm glad I forgot that motherfucker. Oh, fucking hairband bandit. What's your biggest gripe with AB, man? Mr. Boom.
He sucks. He sucks. He should have never got the fucking job.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have lasted this long if the boss was here still. I think he would have been sacked 3 seasons ago. Well, now, because we made the World Series. What?
He never got the job, bro. Yeah. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Girardi got fucked. Let's just call it for what it is. Girardi took a team full of kids that had no business making the ALCS when we did against Houston the first time around. And if we're talking about it, if it wasn't for somebody stealing, signs against us back-to-back years, we'd have won a fucking World Series with Girardi as the manager. Yeah. So I'm sorry. No, Aaron Boone was a shit player that got lucky with one home run that got him a managing spot. I'm sorry. You and me right now could put all the Yankee gear on, become the manager, and win 300 games across 5 years with that team. Because if you can't, you don't deserve to be a manager in baseball with how stacked our team has been over the last few years. You just don't.
Thanks. Now, the thing with Cashman, Chike,
this is Chike, that's a big fuck up there. He's not one of the worst GMs.
Yeah, so the thing with him is, right, I think I look at Wenger in two parts. I look at Wenger from like 98 to like 06 at his best. Gave us some of the best memories, played some of the best football. The latter part of Wenger, we want to forget. Yeah, right. The 8-2s and the 6-0s in his 1000th game against stayed too long.
Yep.
I think Brian has stayed too damn long, and the longer he stays, he's in quicksand. I think he needs to fire Aaron and quit and resign. That's what they should do. That would be the logical thing. Okay, we forget Mr. 4 goals at Liverpool.
Was he after or was he before Nasri? Or same time?
I
think Arshavin came before Nasri, if I'm not mistaken.
Arshavin was what 2011?
I'm trying to remember.
They're close. There's not a whole lot of overlap there, though. Yeah. So they're definitely close. Because Nasri went to City when they were taking all our damn players.
Yes.
So that would have been after that was so.
No, Nasri came in 08 from Marseille in the summer, and then I think we bought Arshavin in like transfer deadline day in 09 in the winter when it switched. So Nasri came first by like 6 months. So you could say Arshavin too. Yeah. So we got Arshavin, Podolski, Sanchez, and good old Gervinho.
Gervinho, man. Yeah, that 82, man. Matter of fact, and has Instagram, because I'm not on X, I'm not on TikTok, as Instagram would have it, down memory lane, because it was this week in 2011. It was this weekend where we August of 2011 is when we were
Yep.
We got Travis. I turned my phone off that day.
Yeah, that was shellacking.
I had to turn my phone off that day. And that was before memes in real. Yeah.
Could you imagine the memes for that shit, dude?
They were calling. People who I didn't even know watch football were calling me. I thought something happened. Because I was living in OKC at the time, Oklahoma City, in 2011, having a great time. These motherfuckers, man. I could not believe it. Could not believe what I was watching. Now, bro, I wake up in the morning 4 or 5 a.m. and I eat some full Irish, and then I consume some midday kickoff from Bro Views. And the broski Shane, I've disagreed with him with this, and I've been talking about it on stream. That do you think we're weaker or we're stronger going into the season than we were last year? Tricky one, ain't it?
Yeah. Squad-wise, I'd say we're a little weaker. Foundation-wise, we're stronger. It's kind of like a splitting of the hairs situation, because it's like when you look at the landscape of the league, with it being Maresca, Iriola, Alonso, and Carrick, we're stronger in the department of we haven't changed managers. We know what we're doing. And we have the foundation. And now that we finally got over the hump, the foundation is much more solid than the rest of these teams. Squad-wise, I think our squad is a tad weaker than squad-wise. I think we're a tad weaker than what we were going into last season. I think it's all going to depend on who ends up getting this left wing position. I think will make the final decision. Because you know what? No, not a tad. We are weaker because Saliba should be out for the whole year. I'm convinced that if we play our cards right, if we do rotation properly, I still think even with missing Saliba, we should still retain the league. But squad-wise, we're definitely weaker. I think foundationally wise, we are in a better position, but the squad is really what's going to choose it. So I would say, yeah, we are a bit weaker than what we were coming in. But I do think that the foundation side, that's more of the mental thing. And that's what we've always equivalated to Arsenal being weak at, was the mentality. So I would say the mental side, I think we're better coming in. Squad rotation wise, I think it's weaker.
Now, if you think if we're weaker through injury, we should use that caveat, because injuries are a thing, right?
Yes.
So if we're weaker due to a Saliba and a Timber injury, then I think we're strong as fuck. It's just that the injuries, and I'm expecting Timber to come back. I'm expecting Timber,
hopefully,
home against Leeds. So after the international break, I'm expecting Timber. I'm waiting to see what the club says about Saliba before I'll make a judgment whether I think he's coming back or not. Right? Because if the club says he's coming back in late November, then he will play football this season. If the club says after January, we're fucked. He's out. Yeah. And I'm on record as saying Saliba is the best center back in the world. Now, I can't say that and then pivot and say we're stronger without the world's best center back. I can't say we're stronger without the league's best right back, or the right back that I'm passing everybody up to taking Timber. Right? That's a whole half of our back line missing. Yeah. So I'm assuming that Timber is going to come back, and I'm still hopeful that Saliba will play around February, March if he comes back. Big up to Paz. Big up, bro. Yes. Big up to listen. This is my invitation to Paz. Just get in the screen and just yell. the loudest man, right? Big up to Paz. On the next domestic. Now I'm still waiting for Paz to tell me which attacker under Arteta has kicked on. Because I asked him the question live on stream and he told me a bunch of names that I still don't fuck with. You know what I mean? But I think because Timber is coming back, I don't agree that we're weaker because Bruno G, I can make the argument that this brother is one of the most complete midfielders in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And with him in our midfield, I think a Timber, Declan Rice as a midfield is extremely difficult to beat with that defense behind us. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, you know, I don't want to say that the Bruno G signing kind of offset the Saliba injury, but I'm kind of saying it does because Timber's coming back. I think between Konza and Mosquera will give us enough cover.
Yeah.
To minimize.
Hopefully. Yeah.
You know yeah, to minimize. So that's what I'm on with it. But big up to everyone coming in. Yeah, we're short. We're definitely it's a big miss. This is like what? This is like City missing Haaland and Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, two of their most key players. But was there any other takeaway from the City Palace game? Are Palace in trouble?
I think so. I didn't like the signing of Saj, to be quite honest with you. I thought they bit a little too quickly on this guy. I mean, what he did at Lens in France was impressive, but with what Palace is trying to do, I thought it was kind of a bad signing. I thought they should have looked in a different direction for a more seasoned manager, in my opinion. But I mean, look, which winger would you rather take in that swap, Brendan Johnson or Dwight McNeil? I mean, if that's what we're doing here to try to make the team better, I mean, we're fighting shit versus shit here. I don't know. I think Palace is going to show really how good of a manager Glasner is, in my opinion. And I think Palace, what's that old saying? It's going down just as fast as it went up. I think that's what we're going to see the situation with Palace.
That's what I was thinking today, right? I was thinking no Glasner, he's gone. Mm-hmm. No Munoz, he was on the bench, but he didn't play. I hear his name tied into all kind of transfers.
Yeah.
No Sarr, no Mateta. So I'm like,
and they're trying to sell them two guys too.
They tried to sell Mateta last year, bro. Failed his medical. Remember? Was it Roma?
No, it was Milan. It was Milan. Okay.
I know. They've been trying to sell, bro. So that Glasner, that's a big miss. It's a big miss. Even though he's having a rough start down there, at Forest.
But
City is going to win a bunch of games, bro, because they got Coventry next. They're going to move to Coventry. They're going to slap the shit out of Coventry.
Slap the fuck out of them.
Yeah. So Captain Erling.
Bet the over on that one if you're going to gamble, bro. Yeah. Bet the over on that one,
bro. I might triple Captain Haaland next week in my FFP. I might. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might, because he's going to belt the ass. And after that, it's the Manchester Derby. Now they're going to win some games. They're going to start strong. Listen, I expected Palace to get beat today. Like I expected, City to do the bits against these men, even if they had Mateta and all these men. Because Gehi playing in the sixth again today. But it worked. It worked out. But there were periods in the game where they were getting played through.
Yep.
A couple of mishit passes, and I'm looking like there is going to be some teams that's going to really put a hurting on City when their transition defense is ass. I thought Liverpool's transition defense was bad.
No, City's is worse.
But it looks, and I'm saying that's a team without Rodri. They were so easy to play through, but that final pass from Pino and Eddie was a little off today, but they were getting played through, man. And I'm like, shit.
I think fair or foul, because you brought up a good point with this. I think City's going to have an early exit in the Champions League this year, which is why I've had them finishing second, because I think they'll go down to one game a week relatively early for what we're used to with City. I think that transition defense puts them in jeopardy against a lot of the better teams in Europe, in my opinion.
I hear it. I don't shit. I need them to go far. I need them to go far in the Champions League and stay the hell away from us. What's the odds Timber breaks down in training after the transfer window closes? That would be our luck. But
don't speak that into the existence, Assemble. Come on.
I'm expecting him to circle back. Trent might be available. I saw that. But I didn't see no Liverpool fan. They don't want no parts of this. They're like, nope. That ship has sailed. But I think when they look at Frimpong, they're like, shit, beggars can't be choosers out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Frimpong is shit at right back, man. He is shit.
Yeah.
See, this is
go on.
I was gonna say, LFC Monster, and I think it was Chronic. We were having a discussion on my channel. That's why I said I would have rathered Liverpool go after Xabi Alonso and play this 3-4-3 with Liverpool and them get better center backs, because Frimpong is not going to be the guy that they thought he was going to be of coming out of the backfield. Again, this is what goes to, like the question that we have of like, are there really scouts anymore in football, or just does everybody go off of TikTok shit? Because it's like Frimpong at no point in the Bundesliga was that good defensively. He was able to go forward because they were rock solid with that back line of three. And when you look at the two midfielders that they had, yeah, Xhaka was able to go forward, but Palacios and these other guys were just there to sit and have a back line of four to protect them. And it's a thing where Frimpong is not that good. Kirk as fuck, is he terrible? Jesus.
Kirk is,
That dude, Kirk has turned into the guy that can't find tits in a strip joint. He's so damn bad right now with Liverpool. It's terrible.
He can't find what?
He can't find tits in a strip joint. he is god awful, bro. Kirk has that was a finesse job by Bournemouth that you have to like tip your hat to. They finessed the hell, and they got a better fullback in Trufair when they replaced Kirk. I mean, he is just trash.
Oh man, when you say can't find tits in us, oh Lord, you ever been to Palma, Mallorca?
No.
Yeah, bro. Titties everywhere. They just be on the beach, just laying there. Tingo videos there. You can tell the Americans, because the people who live there are used to it. So they just go about their business. You can tell the Americans, mouth wide open. Getting us. Look, bro, look all you want. You're gonna make them, but they're everywhere, man. It's mad. Ah, Lord. Hey, my apologies, Jack. Got a little bit distracted there. I heard titties.
Always good for a few laughs on this show.
Yeah, Buwadi is there to play. He came on. He had a little cameo. So that's how you replace Rodri. Yeah, you were $200 million worth of midfield between Elliot Anderson and him. Could be $300 million because Enzo. Next week this time it's Enzo, a City player, Yerne.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think he's a City player next week. So yeah, that's how you replace Rodri then.
Hey, Chelsea, give us 90 million. We'll send Zubamendi with a fucking bow on the top of his head.
Keeping Zubi, man. Keeping Zubi as a squad player, World Cup winner as a squad player is a hell of a flex. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a hell of a flex. I'm watching. What's his name? Donnarumma get beat today from a Jeremy Pino free kick. I'm like, shit, okay, cool. They conceded. It just looks like David Raya is going to sleepwalk another Golden Glove along with Erling Haaland putting up going to get another goal.
Donnarumma, hot take. Donnarumma, I think, won't be with City after this year.
He looks off it, man.
Yeah.
He looks, when he gets pressed, when they play the ball, they press him. He looks so uncomfortable.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm willing to bet you right. You've heard it here first, folks. Carnesecchi will replace Donnarumma as the Italian national team goalkeeper in the future, and I think he will be the guy that Manchester City will go after to replace Donnarumma for their goalkeeper. He's a fantastic young keeper. I think he's going to be a big. I think Atalanta's the surprise team in Italy this year. I think they finished top 3. I think Carnesecchi will replace Donnarumma at City, and they'll move on because there's been strong leaks that Donnarumma wants to go to Inter.
I thought he wanted to go to Juve. I thought Juve was his childhood club.
No, it's Milan. Milan is his initial childhood club. He wants to go back to Milan, but Milan can't afford him.
Okay. Because I remember, I think PSG were playing Juve in a Champions League game, and they were booing the shit out of him. And that's when the Coventry was like, he chose PSG for money over an Italian club, and they were letting him hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were letting him hear it. Fazili said Trent.
Hey man, he's from the trenches, man. He's from Napoli. He's the same way with these Brazilians. He needs the money. That's why. or he's like his buddy Tonali, and he's got a gambling problem, and that's why he needs the money too.
Tonali, man. Yeah, Tonali has a bet on himself. You know what I'm saying? So, Fazili is a Liverpool fan. Big him up. I mean, I didn't know. He said Trent can give us more creativity. He could. I mean, but defensively, you're still going to be vulnerable on that side. And Virgil.
No, it's
older. It's looking like Father Time is giving him issues. I don't know about Araujo. I don't. I think Liverpool playing poorly with Konate expressing his desire to leave, along with you selling that kid to Leverkusen. What's his name? Kwanzaa. Selling Kwanzaa to Leverkusen. I think there's been some poor planning there on the defense part. Now, there was a tweet. So in the Enemy Lions group chat, big up the Big Preach that was in here earlier. There was a tweet by some Liverpool folks earlier when they said Iraola has been given the green light to play the kids in the cups, and that's what he's going to do. But then third round of the EFL comes out and they draw a Premier League team. They draw Tottenham. So if you're Iraola next week, do you play kids against Tottenham who just got an influx of players, or do you play strong team to try to?
Oh, you got to play a strong team. You got to play a strong.
So no more kids.
I think. You know what you said. I think 2 weeks ago when we did the show, we were talking about it with Iraola. I think what you said really is sticking out to me. That I think Iraola, when we saw how fast it turned for Slot, I think Iraola needs to win one of the domestic cups and needs to finish top 4 to keep the Liverpool fans at bay from possibly starting to tweak on him too, like they did with Slot. So I don't know. In that situation, you can't. Because who knows what ends up happening. If you play the kids, who knows? Maybe De Zerbi ball, like we just saw in the last game with Spurs, they come and embarrass the kids at Liverpool. That would be a real bad sign for Iraola. I think you got to play your strongest 11 against Spurs in that game.
Yeah, the thing with Iraola, right? So last week, or match week 1, we see Iraola go away to St. James's Park and gets a point.
And he got lucky too.
Yeah. At Bournemouth. If he was still Bournemouth manager, you go to St. James's Park and get a point. It's a positive read in the newspapers the next morning.
Yes.
At Liverpool, he's having an answer for only drawing 2-2 in the opening game, and he's never had to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's never been questioned. So now I want to see how he reacts to this type of pressure, right? Because now all of a sudden, Man United and Liverpool match week 2 becomes must wins for him.
Yep.
Right? Ipswich and motherfucking Forest are must-win games. Because if Carrick starts 0-2, oh my days.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Mark, you're a cool dude. We've had a lot of good talks off screen, but I'm sorry, brother. You guys and the whole Manchester United fan base got to hold this L this year. Because all I heard this whole summer, PSR's gone. We're going to be able to spend more money and all this. You guys ain't done shit. So I'm holding all the receipts, and we will be spinning the block on Manchester United this year because I don't think they're qualifying for top 4 this year. I don't think they qualify for Champions League. I think there's going to be a rude awakening for United that this ain't this cakewalk 1 game a week shit that they got last year with Carrick. I don't think that's happening.
You know what's going to happen with Man United? This is what's going to happen with United. They're going to win. They're going to put a run of games together, right? They're going to put a good little run of games together at some point during the season. And then KG, Saeed, they're all going to get carried away and they're going to say the T word. They're going to say title, and then it's going to come crashing down, and then they'll just fade away again.
You remember when was it when Enzo said that we're not in a title chase? When he got Enzo to like second place with Chelsea. Yeah. I see a similar situation happening with United. I see United going on like a 10 or 11, maybe even 12 game unbeaten run, and everybody's heads are going to get way too big. Yep. And then the reality check is going to come in, whether it's going to be an ass kicking in the Champions League or they go from that to a 4-5 winless streak. to where it's like, okay, you got all those points, but now everybody's caught right back up. I see that potentially happening with United this year. I really do.
Yeah, that's mad. Apparently, some Arteta sexual was just abusing DJB, saying Arsenal has a world-class player in every position. Every position. I mean, that's very Top Gunner-esque. That's very Top Gunner-esque to see Havertz as a world-class player in Saka. I think, like I said, bro, the player of the season awards is, for lack of better words, an indictment on how we play football, where it stops in the midfield. We have no attacker in it, So, listen, we're not making this up. Those are the facts. We have no attacking player nowhere near the levels that they're supposed to be performing. Our midfielders and our defenders and our goalkeeper are performing at the levels. But our attack, they ain't doing it. Big up to Suj.
Big up, Suj.
Yeah, man. Big up to Suj every time. We're friends now, Suj. NBA new season. So, you're a Spur. Unfortunately, you're a Spur, a San Antonio Spur. Have to make the distinction, but you're broski.
At least they the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely pressure on Iraola. Yeah, he's having an answer for picking up a point on the road. No, that should have been 3 points. When you have their striker, their captain plays for us, their other midfielder plays for Tottenham, their left winger is a Blando Espanol in Barcelona. You must. You absolute must, and you didn't must. And we'll talk today about the little bottle job against PSG, right?
Yeah.
Where PSG, they were down 2-0 in 90+1. Vitina scores, grabs the damn football, runs back to the halfway line, they kick off.
Yep.
Then they score and equalize. That's what I was critical of Szoboszlai last week when he scores the pen and he's doing this. Motherfucker, go get the ball and run to the halfway line and hope the referee gives you a Hail Mary to put a ball in the box.
Yep.
But he was doing that because if Odegaard had did that, we would have killed him.
We killed him last year.
We would have crucified him. So that was a blunder on Szoboszlai's part. You know what I'm saying? And I hope the Liverpool faithful call that out.
Lynch is classic. Lynch is classic.
Big up Lynch. Lake on Ontario, Big up Lynch, man. I mean, were you rooting for the Blue Jays last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as it pained me to, yeah. Anybody but the Dodgers, brother.
I was, and then I thought of Egal. I was like, fuck them motherfuckers.
Listen, I can tolerate the Blue Jays. The Toronto Maple Leafs, fuck no. I hope that team never fucking wins again. I hope I die before I see the Toronto Maple Leafs win a fucking Stanley Cup again. I'll tell you that much.
Big up the Lynch for that, man.
And the same thing goes for all them Canadian teams. Outside of, shout out to Reno Zed. The Canucks I could tolerate, but the rest of them Canadian teams, nah, fuck them. I hope I never see another Canadian team win a fucking Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Market Pro, the return of Jamal. It only took 38 minutes to have him on his knees. 38 minutes, and they played whole, and he was on his knees crying. Couple more bad results, and he's gonna be out here saying he's had enough. I've had enough. That type of shit. Yeah. Anyone but the Dodgers. Yeah. I don't hate the Dodgers. I don't, but it's a geographical thing. I don't love them, but I don't really hate them.
I hate them.
I
hate them.
I hate them. But
our rivalry against them in the 40s with the Yanks when they were still Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're from Brooklyn. That's why you don't hate the Dodgers.
Right. So. And it's some of the players that they've produced over the years. I've been a big fan of, So
okay.
Yeah. Cool. Broski, I wanted to ask your opinion on some of these rule changes, man. What the hell? Let me see if
I'm liking it so far from what I've seen.
If I can put it on the damn screen.
He
here.
said the Leafs, man, it's rough. Fuck that. They're fucking team.
So see these rules, because today there was a Palace player who took 24 seconds to get off, and the refs made the sub come. I think he made him wait like 2 minutes before he entered the game, and they were already chasing. Yeah. So the substituted players must leave within 10 seconds, or their replacement must wait until the next stoppage. And City had the ball, and they were just, hey! Hey, yeah, and just passing it for fun. Like that rule, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Anything that's going to get us more football, bro. I think was it on this show or were we on the Bruised Banana when we were talking about the rule changes? And it said in the Premier League, the average was only 52 minutes of the ball being in open play. That's a
Yeah.
disgrace.
That was the off
That's a
topic,
disgrace.
though. That was the off topic. We
Off
were doing the off
topic.
topic
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a disgrace. Anything that's going to get us more football, more live action football, I'm all for. I'm not with none of this crap, man. I think the game needs it. The game has been on life support the last couple of years with all these stoppages and stuff and lack of watching open play and so many more minutes coming up, especially in England. It's different in La Liga, Serie A, and Bundesliga. They have a lot more minutes of open play than what the Premier League has. If you're the best league in the world, you can't be only having 52 minutes of open play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the fact that this has to be legislated is an indictment on the integrity of footballers.
Exactly.
It shouldn't have to legislate morality or try to in sports. Like, bro, just leave the pitch. Just get out. You don't want your teammates to play. That's what happened. Well, that's what a substitution is. Your teammate, the guy that you train with, who wasn't good enough to start, is getting a chance to run out, and you're gonna come on, man, get your ass off the pitch. The injured players must stay off the pitch for at least 1 minute, up from 30 seconds. I didn't see that much of a bigger problem because then the goalkeeper can just sit down. You know what I'm saying, and still get away with it. But the specifically the wrong yellow card resulted in a red card, that should be a given.
Yeah.
Just like earn your money, VAR. Just don't sit in there and chew bubble gum. Like, watch the fucking game. And was that a red today for Pino on Holland? I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't think so. I thought that was a little soft for it to be a red, but it is what it is,
Yeah, because they said it wasn't a forceful impact. But how do you measure impact? Your cleats are high and you make contact with the opponent's shin. You just didn't carry out, you didn't execute, but it takes a voluntary movement when you're on the ground for your leg to be elevated.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, you lucky boy. Lucky. Big up to Brenny. Big you up, man. Every time. Everyone said, fuck them kids. Because if you go out the damn tournament to Tottenham, oh my days. Come on now.
De Zerbi have a statue outside the Spud Stadium if he does that.
And you know what's crazy? I think Tottenham beat them, regardless of who they play. I think De Zerbi is gonna whoop that ass.
I think De Zerbi is gonna shock people and get Tottenham a little bit higher. I see. I see some signs from what I've saw from him playing at Sassuolo. Because that's the De Zerbi ball that I pay attention to more. Brighton was cool and everything else, but I'm looking at how he played at Sassuolo with the players that he has. I think potentially Tottenham could finish 7th or 6th or 5th.
I think Tottenham finished above one of the big 6 teams. So on the swap shop with Hassam and Sarcasm TV and Views, I said that, and I didn't say what big they were trying to pull it out of me. I was like, nah, so on the next swap shop for this month, because it's a monthly show. Yeah, I'm gonna because next Tuesday, when the transfer window closes, when I'm going to do my top 6, my real one of who I think is going to finish 2nd, 3rd, blah, 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 because, you know what I'm saying? Well, how we know who's finishing first, yeah? That's another bullshit VAR to use selectively to help whoever they want to help, just like the mistaken identity bullshit that was only pulled out to help Argentina. I hear it. Big up to Aaron Glide, say greetings to Aaron and Gianni. Hope all is well. I totally agree. I was shocked when I first heard the stat about the average time for open play. It's mad. It's like watching your football team not play football.
Yeah.
Like, when did footballers think we want to see this shit? Like, we don't want to see shit, Housery.
Did I send you the video of Ronaldinho? Dude's 46 years old, dancing around them idiots in City of Chi, just coming out of retirement, man.
Yeah, it's mad. So this is what I'm saying, Chike. The first half of when he just signed, he did bits. Just like Wenger. In Wenger's first 8 years is competing what Wenger was competing with in his first years. He did well, but it's the last couple of years of Wenger where we really turned on him because he was taking the piss out of us.
But at the
Cashman,
same, go ahead. You finish.
And I say Cashman in the past, I want to say since 2011 has been ass.
But is that him or is it the kids?
It's the kids.
It's the kids.
It's the kids that are allowing it to happen. By the kids chat, we're talking about Jordan Steinbrenner's children who are now running the New York Yankees.
Yes, that's the problem. Everybody wants to talk about Cashman, yet Cashman was the guy that picked out the Jorge Posadas, the Bernie Williams, the Derek Jeters, and the Mariano Rivera's. That eye for talent didn't go away.
Yeah.
You know, here, we could say the same thing about the old man because the old man screwed up after the debacle of losing to the Arizona Diamondbacks when he put together the home run or nothing mentality when bringing in guys like Gary Sheffield and all them other numbskulls that we picked up in that time frame from winning in 09. Once the old man passed and he gave the reins to the kids ain't paying the fines like they used to, like the old man used to. The old man was winning all cost. And even if you could win 110 games a year, if you didn't win that World Series, he was chewing your ass out. He didn't give a rat's ass about wins in the regular season. The kids don't give a rat's ass. The Yankees are making more money than they've ever had under the old man, and that's all the kids care about right now.
Yeah. So the boss said there's winning, there's oxygen, and then there's winning. His words, not mine.
Yep.
The boss, we're talking about George Steinbrenner. So let me put you on the spot, man. Rank these owners for me. The boss, Sheikh Mansour, Roman.
Ooh.
Without the Yankee bias, if that's possible. George Steinbrenner, Sheikh Mansour, or Roman Abramovich as owners across sports lines, across oceans. You know, we will do the KSC and the FSG debate another day. But them three, if you had to rank them.
That's a good one.
Tough one, ain't it?
That is a good one. Shit.
Because I think George, whether or not Roman knew if George exists, I'm pretty sure Roman being a billionaires know other billionaires, right? And sports owners know other sports owners. I'm inclined to believe that Roman knew about George. And what's this team that has 26 titles? What is their group and what's their owner like? And then he had the resources to go on and do a madness. But Sheikh Mansour has the backing of an entire state.
Yeah, I'm not Sheikh Mansour's third on that list. It's between Abramovich and Steinbrenner. See, even without even taking the Yankee bias out, I'm going to still say George Steinbrenner because baseball over 162 games. It's also not just one. Historically, I don't give a rat's ass. The Yankees of 98, 99, 2000 is the best 3-year run of any fucking baseball team of all time. And it was done mixture of signing big name players and developing youth. So Steinbrenner's got to get that. That's number one. Number two, people forget this. George Steinbrenner was also the owner and the architect of the New Jersey Devils that was kicking the shit out of people in the early 2000s as well. He's got 2 Stanley Cup championships with them. And he was also, George Steinbrenner shook up, for those who don't know baseball history, you need to look this guy up because he's one of the greatest players of all time. He shook everything up when he got Reggie Jackson to come to New York in 177 and 78. And the circus that was him, Billy Martin, and Reggie Jackson going on was ridiculous. But again, that was the win at all cost. It's much more difficult to win that many titles in the time of the ownership that Steinbrenner had in American sports than what it is for what Abramovich was able to do with Chelsea, in my personal opinion at the time. Because, you know, the thing is with Chelsea, Abramovich came in when it still was only the big three. it was still the three legacy clubs were only Liverpool, United, and Arsenal. Abramovich came in, pulled the rug out from everybody and said, well, I'm just going to pump money in and say, try to beat me at my game. And they never did at that time frame. Yes, United was still winning trophies and everything else, but you look at the amount of titles that Chelsea was just able to stockpile with Roman Abramovich, it was just a different level. But for Steinbrenner, it's a different thing because you have to take how American sports works into effect, where everybody is getting similar money at the beginning of the season. You have to market yourself from then on to make your team better. And Steinbrenner is the standard of the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees are the biggest and baddest sports franchise in America for a reason, and it's because of him. Yes, the history in the early days were there. Steinbrenner brought it back. So I think I got to give Steinbrenner the edge on this over Abramovich, but it is close between those two.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know. I don't know about Reggie.
Wow, that's wild as shit.
Now, so the thing is, I hear your Sheikh Mansour point. Yeah, they're a distant. There are ownership group, right, or a state. The thing, I will give Roman his props for taking Chelsea and breathing life into it, right? Yes. And he made them change the rules. You know, you're doing something when you're a needle mover when you make an entire organization change the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing with George is, I believe before the World Series is so damn difficult to win because under the old it was 162 games, but it was division winners and one wild card. Like to just even make the playoff, it was very difficult. While you have half the NBA making the playoffs, and you had 12 teams before they expanded the NFL playoffs, you had 12 teams. Baseball was only 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you had to be one of the 8 best. So the playoffs was ultra competitive. And from 78 all the way up to 09, the way he was able to reinvent without even compromising. Even the best players in the world, George said, you want to come play for us, you still have to avoid Yankee standard. You're going to have to shed your face, Jason Gianni.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to come to work suited and booted.
Yeah. So it was just the way he carried the organization and made listen, I don't think we could fuck around and, in 2029, I think you might see an uprising in the Bronx and protests outside of Yankee Stadium when 20 years hit without a World Series.
I think there will be. And if there isn't, then that means the standards of the New York fans over there has fallen because that's not what it's supposed to be, man.
Absolutely.
Yankees is the New York Yankees is different than everybody else when it comes to sports over here in America. They are different.
Yeah. When the Yankees got Paul O'Neill, that was a statement signing towards building a championship run. Man, that's a fair shot. That's definitely a fair shot.
Not only that, again, it doesn't get talked about with him in hockey. Remember, he came in and made the New Jersey Devils a household name. The Devils were the redheaded stepchild on the East Coast compared to the New York Islanders, the New York Rangers, the Boston Bruins, even the Philadelphia Flyers. They were the redheaded stepchild compared to those teams. He made them a big market in hockey. Nobody thought Jersey was going to do that.
Yeah. Big facts. But yeah, man, I always thought about that because I know a lot of Chelsea fans who popped up over in New York. So then, they're Chelsea fans and they love Roman, but they're also Yankee fans. And they always go on about Roman. And then I'll sneak in the chat and they'll be like, hey, bro, don't forget that, that George did George things. You know what I'm saying? But
I think the only owner in football that is more comparable to Steinbrenner than Abramovich is Berlusconi. When you look at what he did with AC Milan. When he took over AC Milan, he got them out of the rut when they got relegated in the 80s. Turned them around, and they went on a run with Paolo Maldini's entire career. They've won half of that club's trophy cabinet. AC Milan's got like 52 trophies. They won 25 in that ownership group while he was there with Maldini. I think he's the one that I would throw in there as well to mix it up instead of Sheikh Mansour. Sheikh Mansour, I give him credit for what he's done with City, but at the same time, I mean, come on, man. The amount of money that he's been allowed to pump
Loaded.
in is absolutely not nonsensical at this point.
Yeah, he's loaded. Now, curveball. Could we throw Robert Kraft in that mix? Or he's just on the outside looking in? Because he did build a dynasty. You know?
I think you could throw Robert Kraft in there. Because same thing, the Patriots were not a historical team in the NFL. They never were. They didn't have no titles. They never were. And but also, see, the flip side of that is I don't think anybody thought Bill Belichick would turn what he turned into as far as a coach. Mm-hmm. And they got the greatest player of all time in NFL history in Tom Brady.
Oh, by accident, by the way. By accident. Like Mo Lewis hitting the shit out of Drew Bledsoe is the greatest accident in all of sports. There should be documentaries made about this shit. Because if
again, it's the damn New York Jets.
If Mo Lewis just pulls up and let Drew Bledsoe run out of bounds, we don't know who Tom Brady is.
Facts. That is facts.
Knock the shit out of him. Internal bleeding. Sit his ass down. The 199th pick. And if you're into the NFL, people, just go Google the scouting report that these scouts wrote on Tom Brady. You would think they were talking about me.
Yeah.
That can't play football. That turned out to be better than everybody else.
Hey, didn't they say he was going to be the taller version of Doug Flutie?
Yeah, Doug Flutie. What was the other one? The other shit one that the Chargers drafted with Drew Brees. Remember Ryan Leaf? Remember him?
Oh my God! Yeah, he was dog shit.
Ryan Leaf. He was supposed to be Peyton Manning levels.
Yep.
He was supposed to be that guy that never, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Robert Kraft. It kind of fell into his lap. How that happened with Drew Bledsoe, and big up to Belichick, because I think most of the New England faithful wanted Bledsoe to come back into the fold for that playoff run, and he said, "No, this is my guy." And this is what
they were booing him.
Yep,
they were booing him that he chose Tom Brady over Drew Bledsoe.
They were booing the shit out of him, and let's not forget the bookies and everyone had the Rams favorites in that Super Bowl.
Oh, by a country. Bro, they had Pittsburgh favored to go to the Super Bowl that year with their fucking bum, Cordell Stewart, as a quarterback.
Cordell Stewart, yeah.
God, was he shit. Cordell. I remember when he came to the Bears, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Cordell, them damn holes in his face. Yeah, Cordell couldn't. Yeah, Cordell wasn't that guy, man.
He was smoking too much meth at his time in Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah, their portfolio is pretty impressive, but they have to build a dynasty, which is what we're working on right now, right? If they build a dynasty at Arsenal, they can be. But that Patriots dynasty, listen, I used to hate playing. And listen, as a New York Giant, I am so grateful to be able to take 2 Super Bowls away from them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for Eli, that boy would have, what, 8 rings? Or 9? What would he have? 7?
9.
He would have 9 rings. And he lost another Super Bowl to the Eagles.
Yeah, he'd have 10 rings.
So he could be Bill Russell in out here. Because Bill Russell got what, 11?
Yeah. 9 as a player, 2 as a coach. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's undisputed. He is the guy. No long. But Kraft got lucky with Bill and Tom.
Yeah.
Stuck by him. And it's
the same thing could be said with the Bulls for Michael Jordan. The same thing could be said with the Bulls for Michael Jordan.
Yeah. You know what? I could even say that Golden State got lucky when Steph injured his ankles back in the day. When Steph injured his ankles and they got him on a cheap deal where they were able to sign all these. For example, the Seahawks, right? These Seattle Seahawks were the current NFL champion. Remember that first Super Bowl? Well, not the first one. The second one they won with Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick, he was still operating on a rookie contract, which allowed them to go sign Percy Harvin. Some other big name guys and put all those and build the Legion of Boom around him. And as soon as they paid him, you saw what happened because all the other guys had to leave. Richard Sherman ended up going to a division rival.
I think he went to San Fran. Yeah.
You know, it's madness. But yeah, Ryan Leaf, man, I hear lashing at reporters, knock it out.
Shit.
Dog
shit.
And the reporters.
Dog shit. Who was that other bum that was left? He was with the Bears. He was supposed to be hot too, because I remember I think he was in. We chose Jim Miller over over Tom Brady. Or I'm forgetting who he drafted that year
Miller,
as a quarterback.
Yeah, I'd have to go back.
Oh, no, you remember Cade McNown threw the ball too goddamn hard for anybody to catch the fucking ball.
McDowell, you know. Mac motherfucking Down. Him and Jake Delhomme was two of the most frustrating quarterbacks that I used to watch. Delhomme, because Delhomme had good receivers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had Steve Smith. He had I think Ashley
Muhammad.
He left. Yeah, he had some good receivers, man. And he just was shit. Same
well, he was better than that other bum, though. Hasselbeck, I didn't think was that good of a quarterback either, though.
Which one? The Seahawks one or the brother?
No, the Seahawks one was better. The Seahawks one was better, but he won
got
by
to a
much.
Super Bowl. At least that was Matt, right?
That was Matt Hasselbeck, yeah.
He got to the 06 Super Bowl where they lost to the Steelers. Speaking of Cordell.
Yeah.
But that was Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward.
Cordell wasn't even on the team. It was that other bum that they had. It was
Charlie Batch was their backup player, but Ben Roethlisberger.
No, Batch. Remember, Batch fucked his knee up. He got dropped to third because he was injured going in. It was that other guy. Tommy Maddox. Tommy
motherfucking Maddox. Yep, sure was. Yeah, Hines Ward. I don't remember who the other receiver on the other side was.
For the Steelers?
Yeah, it was Hines Ward.
It was he was the other punt returner. It was him. It was him and Devin Hester were always going head to head for who was the best. I think he was a rookie day. Antoine Randall L.
Randall L. Yeah, Randall L.
And honestly, I think that might be Plexico Burris' rookie year.
Yep. Plexico was there. They had Jerome Bettis in the back. Yeah. And I don't know who was backing up. I think that was before Deuce Staley came to the Steelers. Or was Deuce Staley running for? Was he? He was towards the end of.
Staley was gone by then because he went to the Eagles, and I think he went somewhere else afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Listen, big up to Suge.
Ooh,
and the NBA dynasties. Ooh, Lord, 50s to 60s. Celtics, Bulls, 91 to 98. Golden State, Lakers, San Antonio Spurs, Lakers. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So,
Celtics
damn, Suge.
Me.
Well, number one, I think I have to go with Chicago for number one because of the way they won theirs.
It's hard because it's between the Spurs and the Bulls for me. Is gonna be how that goes. It's gonna be the Spurs.
Okay, say Mike didn't retire, and this was, like it said, 91 through 98 without the break, it would be hands down the Bulls.
The Bulls wouldn't have won those two titles against Houston because that playoff series against Orlando, the way Shaq killed us, and when him and Penny smoked us.
Mike had just got back though. I'm saying if he didn't retire,
no, I ain't gonna let you do it because that's Jordan fans like to say this shit. That motherfucker came back 3 games in and dropped a double nickel on the Knicks. Nah, he was fine.
That's regular season. Even Mike himself will tell you.
He played a decent amount of games in a regular season before that playoff series even happened. He played like 30 games to get back in the rhythm. It was the fact that the Bulls thought that they could cakewalk their way back because Jordan came in and they had Luke Longley defending Shaquille O'Neal and thought that was going to slide, and it didn't. I don't think the Bulls win. If the Bulls win one, it's maybe one out of those 2 matchups against Houston.
They're definitely winning one. They're definitely.
Probably the first one, because wasn't it the second one when Drexler joined up with Houston?
Yeah,
I think Drexler went to Houston the second one.
Yeah. But listen, if Mike retiring in 94, 95, he was 31, 32. He was then he went to baseball and did train a whole different set of muscle groups. He needed an entire season to get it, and once he got his legs back, he was curtains.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I would go.
Rodman also helped that out too. Let's definitely. Yeah. Okay, so Bulls are number one. I'm going to put Spurs as number 2 for me because I think
I can't. You know why? They never did a back-to-back. That's why.
That's a good point. But see. I hear you with the back-to-back, but it's a small market team. What Popovich was able to do with a small market team, especially that team, is revolutionary for me. That's why I don't. It's hard. It's hard. No, you know what? No, you're right. You're right. Lakers 80s and 90s is number 2. Spurs will go to 3. Then Lakers 2000 to 04 will probably be number 4 for me.
I'm gonna go Chicago 1. I'll go the Showtime Lakers 2. I will go the Lakers because there was a 3-peat in there.
Yeah, you know what? Now I'm thinking, yeah.
I'm putting the Celtics because there were like 10 teams back there. There wasn't a whole lot of teams.
No, Celtics is last on this list for me.
They're last. It's
Celtics and Golden State are the 2 last ones for me.
Yeah, because San Antonio 99 was the lockout season. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not the Lakers jumped in and did a 3-peat on them, and then they came back in 03. Detroit 04, then the Spurs 05.
Yep.
Miami 06, then they came back in 07, and then they went on an 7-year
drought. Yeah, they went on that drought.
Yeah. If the Spurs had a back-to-back in there or a 3-peat, but a 3-peat count for a lot, man.
Yeah. And it was who they did it to, too.
Yeah.
It's you know what? Yeah, you're right. Lakers. So Bulls, Showtime Lakers is 2nd, Kobe and Shaq is 3rd, Spurs is 4th, Golden State's 5th, Celtics are 6th.
Yeah.
Because you know what the thing is with me with Golden State? I think if LeBron didn't act like a bitch the way that he did and up and leave Miami, and he stayed with Miami and did a quick retool, I think he would have won more rings. I think he's at 6 rings by now if he stays with Miami longer. I think that's his biggest mistake in his career, is leaving Miami as early as he did.
Yeah. That's a fair take. Definitely a fair take. Yeah.
You look at that change. You went from Norris Cole to Goran Dragic as a point guard just off of that. You got the 3-point shooting ability of Dragic with LeBron James on that team. I think, plus with whoever else they would have done at that time, I think he would have won. I think he honestly would have won 4 rings with the Heat had he stuck around. But for whatever reason, he just had that gripe with Spoelstra, which I didn't understand why that was the case, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you think he get one this year?
No.
Nope.
I told you, unless Joel Embiid gets traded, I don't see Philly winning.
Steph never chased rings around the league like LeBum. That's
yeah, but he had to call Kevin Durant to save his ass. So let's keep things in perspective here.
Cheat code. KD was the cheat code, you know.
Yeah.
The ultimate cheat code for them, man. Joe Moores and family deserve a mention in the conversation. Made Everton and Liverpool rise from ashes in the 60s. Honorary shout. Fair play. I still can't get over the fact that
hey, man. Listen, BX Gunner, I am a very proud. I can't say very proud because I hate the damn owners, but I am a Chicago Bears fan through and through. That 2000 Ravens defense is the greatest defense for a reason. As much as we were the influence, that Ravens defense is the baddest defense that ever suited up in the NFL. And that's why
85 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Just or can they chat to him or it's clear?
The 85 Bears can chat. You know what it is? If it wasn't for the 85 Bears, you don't get the 2000 Ravens, but the 2000 Ravens perfected what the 85 Bears started.
Yeah. The reason why I'm giving shade to the 2000 Ravens is because they beat us in the Super Bowl. You know?
I know.
Yeah, so I was a bit of taste there. Like, man,
I think you guys were favored to win, right?
Bro, Kerry Collins was the MVP for them.
Yeah.
That was the sorriest game of football I've ever seen a quarterback play. I was like, this
Kerry Collins bum ass. Oh, he was good for 3 seasons, and then he was dog shit.
Ass and cheeks. But yeah, that Trent Dilfer, man, he don't throw the ball away and don't fumble. That's it. We don't need you to do shit else. The defense is going to hold everybody else to 10 points or less. And the 10 points that they're going to score is going to be a painful 10. Yep. You know what I mean? People just want to, let's not play these guys.
Yep.
They were different, man.
Yep.
But yeah. Dynasty, yeah.
2022.
I think it is hit, Taking my Spurs hat off. Fourth is the highest I can put them. It's the close Showtime Lakers and the Bulls are there. The Bulls are top, man. The Bulls, 2 3-peats. It's
in 8 years is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mad, man. KD called KD, so the refs and the league had no reach to help LeBron out. Break out.
Hey, wow, you better not be a Kobe fan because them refs were helping the Lakers out too. So don't say that.
Yeah, you can't forget them. Is it that
Game
bit of blue?
6.
Yeah, you can't forget
Game 6 against the Kings.
If you follow NFL at any level, you have watched a documentary, you have listened to people who you respect speak of Refrigerator Perry. You can't tell the story of football in general, defense in particular, without talking about these 85 Bears, man. They're different. They were different. And matter of fact, I don't think we'll see. Well, you can't, because the way football is played is changed, or NFL is played is changed to where the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens, if they played today, somebody will go to jail.
Oh yeah, you're getting guys thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
All the guys that we loved growing up couldn't play this game nowadays.
Yeah.
John Lynch gets suspended for the whole season. Who
was the last old school, the dying breed of the way defensive players used to play? The last.
My boy Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor was the last. That whole the Legion of Boom. Yeah. The Legion of Boom, and unfortunately, rest in peace, Sean Taylor. Because Sean Taylor would have ended his career as one of the greatest safeties of all time with the way he was playing. He played old school too.
Yeah, he could hit, man. But you know what? I like a guy that played for the 49ers about 15 years ago, a guy named Navarro Bowman.
Yeah, that's a shout.
I think he was
a shout.
Like, he used to hit people. It was personal.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. Like, quarterback, the league is protecting quarterback. I'm hitting him. I take the fine. I'm hitting him. I think James Harrison from the Steelers as well. He used to put a hurting on people. Number 92. He used to hit motherfuckers hard. I can appreciate, that. But yeah, you have to go look at the Gridiron Gang and old tapes of Chris Berman and narrating some of these. There's no way, man.
We grew up where not only an amazing touchdown would get you out of your seat, a big hit would get you out of your seat watching football. You live for that shit.
Yeah. So you think? I know. I won't even ask it. We'll never get back to that, man. It's kind of like
these kids are too fast nowadays. Now, man, you hit. Could you imagine Brian Dawkins playing in the game nowadays? Brian Dawkins would be sending guys to the ER room every fucking game.
I think he would be he would be ejected by second quarter.
Like Eric, how many say your guys' boy Seahorn would be suspended for seasons the way he was cranking.
Seahorn would be paying fine. Like, some charity would love him. Like some New York charity.
The CTE charities.
Yeah, another check for illegal hit. For Jason Seahorn. Well, yeah, he was a hard hitter. Adam Archuleta was a hard hitter. Bob Sanders was a hard hitter. Jason Taylor. They coached it out of the players.
John Lynch, boy. John Lynch annihilate people right now.
Yeah. That was a line. Was a reason why I didn't put the Heat as honorable mention. There was no dynasty there.
The Heat wasn't a dynasty. Back to back doesn't mean dynasty in basketball.
Yeah, they have 3 titles in their history. That's no dynasty there for me. LBJ go in there, ruined it for me. Jeremy Shockey could catch, could hit, could put a hit on people. Where do you see him in the tight ends amongst that era? We're talking about Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez and Dallas Clarks, Jason Witten. Is Jeremy Shockey in that conversation with those guys?
I think so. I think Jeremy Shockey, unless you're a New York Giants fan, I don't think Jeremy Shockey gets his just dues from people outside of being Giants fans.
I think the Saints really love him when he went there.
He plays. He's there. He's not. Listen, Tony Gonzalez and Shannon Sharp are different levels to everybody else. And the same. For me, I don't put him there as much. I know a lot of people like to, but I just don't. It's because of the injuries, because his stats were crazy. But Gronk, Sharp, and Gonzalez are just different level to everybody else. But I think Jeremy Shockey's a very underrated tight end. He gets into the conversations with the Jimmy Grahams and all the other good tight ends that we've seen, Antonio Gates. So
Gronk. I see Gronk as more of a receiver than a blocker, hitter. Like he was uncoverable, right? He was too fast for the linebackers.
Yeah.
Too big for the damn corners.
Yep.
But yeah, he run for blocking and run plays. I don't see him as a complete tight end, but as a receiving tight end, he has levels.
Yeah.
Gronk, you know what I mean? I think. But
the only one that's on the same level is Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, Tony had basketball feet and hands, man. He was next level. Now, if I ask you, right, so bro, this Thursday, the NFL is kicking off in Australia. The 49ers and who?
Shit.
The Rams, yeah? 49ers
I think
and
it
Rams
is the Rams. Yeah.
Are kicking off in Australia. What in the hell is Roger Goodell doing in Australia?
Money, baby. Printing money, just like the
last year
NFL
they started in Mexico City, didn't they?
Yep.
So next year the NFL could start their season at Wembley.
Didn't they start one in Brazil?
Was it either Brazil or Mexico City? I know I think it might have been Brazil. Outside of damn America, where no one speaks gridiron. Because when I lived in Germany, they played a lot of game at the Allianz Arena, and the Germans don't fuck with it. Like most of the people who came up were in the stadium were actually loyal fans who actually flew over, which I respect. But what the hell? Like, you think this is like a thing? Like, you think Sue just gonna pack up and drive to go watch motherfucking Aaron Donald and what's the one from Cleveland that did for the Rams? The defensive end.
Oh, is it Garrett? Miles Garrett?
Miles Garrett. Yeah, bad boy. They got like 250 sacks between them. It's trouble, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm a fan of kicking off in motherfucking Australia, bro. Like, what?
It's money, bro. It's a business. They're the biggest sports business in the world. It is what it is. Goodell is all about building more and more for the NFL. He wants to break that $30 billion mark for where the NFL is. $30 billion. He wants to get it there. He wants to get the company. I call the NFL a company. He wants to get the company to $30 billion in a turnover. He wants to do it because it's a flex for him to take the NFL to where he's gotten it to because they're so far ahead of everybody else. Again, we say it all the time. The only reason why the U.S. got the World Cup is because the NFL owners wanted to show the Premier League owners what it takes to really make some fucking money. They are the gold standard when it comes to making money for a sports company, for a league. And he wants it to just keep going. Listen, there's going to come a day, as long as Goodell is the commissioner, I feel that there will be half the games will not be even being played in the United States anymore. I truly think that that's going to happen.
Bro, if that leads to a Champions League final and Premier League games being played on U.S. soil,
that's what I think is going. That's right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my UK fans, friends, family. I am sorry. But listen, if I don't have to fly motherfucking Emirates Airlines to go watch Arsenal, I'll take it. But I don't know, man. So is he the best? Is he the best of the commissioners?
Yes.
Rob Mansfield can't chat to him. Adam Silver can't chat to him.
Nope.
Some serious money, man.
It's not even close. It's not only that. It's what he's done for players as far as the afterlife of football, of not leaving players to be hung out and dry, like you saw a lot of these other commissioners, not only in the NFL but in the other sports as well. He's one of the few that has gone to the lengths of having financial literacy for some of the we know the stories, the Allen Iversons of the world and everybody else that wants to bring the whole hood with them wherever they come from, no matter what color or creed. You know, he's the one that's wanted to build financial literacy for players. He's the one that's put it into where if you make it 7 years or 8 years, you're going to get guaranteed $800,000 for the rest of your life, and we're going to take care of you health-wise to not force you to go broke. He's really done what needed to be done as far as taking care of everybody both during and after in the sport. That's why I think he's the best. Do I agree with some of the methods? No, but the end justifies the means for him, and the NFL is a better sport for it. The CTE thing, we could say whatever we want about it. It is a real thing. It is a real thing. Whether we like the where the sport has gone, it is what it is. But as far as him taking care of players, I think you have to give your hats off to him.
Yeah, the only knock I got against Godell is it's under his watch that football got soft.
Yes.
It's under his watch that we don't see Navarro Bowman and James Madison's of the world. I agree. I agreed with his personal conduct policies. I think the shit was getting out of control. I agree with him with all that. And the players, they can say what they want, but these contracts that they're getting, I saw the guy from the Seattle Seahawks, he signed today $56 million guaranteed.
Yep.
You know, this is because, you know, the pot that's bigger that they're pulling from, and I fully hear that shout. But under Pete Rozelle, under Paul Tagliabue, NFL was still NFL, and I can appreciate, because the owners love him, you know, because he does work for the owners, and he is getting them paid, you know, at ridiculous levels. So
remember too, Michael Vick became the face of the NFL. He was people can say whatever they want. Michael Vick was the face of the NFL when that whole dog shit went down. And that was a big problem. Plus, remember all the guys like, do you remember the idiot from the Packers, Johnny Jolly? All the guys that were like the leading way, they were from the South, they were the real guys that were starting the whole sipping lean and everything else. And guys being fucked up and, I can't play today because I went to the game too fucked up. He had to clean all that up. The NFL started getting a real bad image in the early 2000s before he came in, especially because you had people, even though Lawrence Taylor is one of the greatest players of all time, you know, there were a lot of crackheads in the NFL outside of Lawrence Taylor, and he had to clean that up. There were a lot of things going on with NFL players that needed to change. So, I agree. Listen, I agree with you. The game got soft. In my personal opinion, I think the NFL should be looking at this situation like it is with boxing. There should be maybe a little bit more further steps to protect players, but at the end of the day, you knowingly know what's going to happen you playing football. So you need to understand that with the change of the game and the popularity of the game, you are going to be facing health risks. But the flip side is you're going to have the finances to be taken care of, and we will be taking care of you because we guarantee your health. Yeah. I think that's why the sport should not be as soft as what it is, because all the guarantees are there. The guarantees back then were not there.
Yeah. I'll fully acknowledge that the football has gotten soft, but when someone says CTE or player safety, then I have to, you know, I have to be like, okay, cool. I understand the business of it all. You know, Pete Rozelle, Paul Tagliabue, they weren't. I don't want to say they didn't have all this data available to them. They may have well had, but the data wasn't available to us, to the public. And now the public is saying, yo, you know, more kids are signing up for soccer and all this, and you can't lose that, you know, with the NFL, because the NFL has become, and I know the baseball purists will hate me saying this, but it has become America's pastime. The NFL has taken a day away that used to belong to the church. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
Motherfuckers will skip church to watch some NFL, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, the game is on. The Dirty Birds playing. I ain't going to church. Who is the biggest bust in sports history? I'll make it easy by saying one per sport.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
The biggest NBA bust of all time.
That's tough. That's a whole show debate.
That's a whole show. There is so many. I can give you Anthony Bennett. I can give you Michael Oliver Candy. I can
Grant
give
Hill.
I can give you. There's so many names. You know what I'm saying?
NFL,
I can give you Ryan Leaf.
Leaf. Cade McDowell.
I can give you Jamarcus Russell. You know, there's so many names I can give you in the NFL, Stooge. Like damn near every number one. There's so
Yeah.
injury though. Injury.
Yeah.
Injury fucked them. That's a whole lot of them, Stooge. But yeah, this could be a whole show.
NHL is Eric Daze.
Yeah.
Eric Daze was supposed to be. Remember, they were all saying that Daze was supposed to be the next fucking Wayne Gretzky. He came to the Blackhawks and sucked ass. He was terrible.
Biggest bust of all time. There's just a lot of them, man. So yeah, that's matter of fact, we'll have a whole bus segment. It's a Ben Simmons. This boy don't want to play football, basketball. He wants to do everything.
He was there for the money.
Wait a minute. Is this a here we go?
Did he go to Fiorentina?
I know he's on his way out. I don't know. I know he's not in the plans. Could be a here we go though. There's gonna be a lot of here we goes, man. Now, like football players want to play football, except if you're Jesus, and these men are gonna be on some. Hey, coach, I appreciate you being honest with me. If I'm not in your plans, if I'm surplus the requirements, let me know. So I can go.
No, they're going in for him. Fiorentina's trying to get Xerxes on loan and Beto from Everton.
Beto, you know. Listen, I think Everton might be this year's dark horse.
I actually think it's Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
I'm a fan of that Matthias Giselle, the manager. And when you look at the way that he played against Liverpool, he's playing that more of a 4-4-2. I kind of like the way that they play. And now, I'm not saying the guy's a fantastic midfielder, but I do like that pairing of Nico Gonzalez and Joelinton as that midfield pairing to try to win the ball back quick for Newcastle going forward. I think with them 1 game a week, the only thing that could spoil it is if Napoli end up getting this deal for Voltamati over the line.
Yeah, I think there was some emotional lift or personal grind for last week's performance against Liverpool. I think they were always going to be up for that Isak thing. I think the air will come out of them as the season goes on. I think they might struggle.
It could.
Bro, let's do a couple of predictions before we get up out of here, man. Coming up on the weekend. Napoli, Como.
Como 2-1.
Damn, I'm going 2-1 Napoli.
I will be doing a watch along for it too.
Yeah. I think Napoli beat Como, man.
Listen, your lips to God's ears, brother. But
full of Chelsea.
Terrible.
Full of Chelsea. Napoli 3-0.
No, you're wilding with that one. Wow.
I can see it.
I
can see it.
Genoa was dog shit, and we couldn't put fucking 3 passes together until the 35th minute. Yeah, you're really taking the piss with Hoyland on a hat trick.
It's at Craven Cottage.
Ooh.
No, that's the old game. Yeah, what the fuck? No, let me delete that. That's my old. It's Chelsea Brighton.
Ooh, that might be a shootout.
Yeah.
I wonder if Emi Martinez is going to start.
Yeah, it's a good question.
If Emi Martinez starts, I'll say 3-2 Chelsea. If he doesn't start and they go with Sanchez, then I'm going to say 4-2 Brighton.
I think it's too soon. I think he starts. I think Sanchez starts, and it's 2-2 Brighton. United Ipswich at Old Trafford.
No, I'm kidding. United 3-1.
United 3-1, yeah. No, I got United.
I will be here for the meltdown if Ipswich beats them, bro. If they lose to them 2 teams as the first 2, it's gonna be live and in color for Saeed and all them.
Yeah, I got United pumping them, man. Like Bruno comes up. Come on, Bruno. Come on a lot, man. Like, I'm here for the meltdown, but yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Newcastle at St. James's.
Newcastle 3-2.
Unfortunately, I think De Zerbi go there and do something. Yeah, I think the Spuds beat them. Forest, Liverpool, Anfield.
I'll give Liverpool the benefit of the doubt because it's at home. I'll say 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will have too much. Another tough game for Glasner. I think he'll unfuck it in the end, though.
Wow, 3-0 Forest. I'm here for it, brother.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I had City winning 3-1 tonight, but they got an extra goal there in the end. Arsenal Villa, the game of the weekend.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean sheet. Going for another clean sheet for Mr. Ryan. I'm going 2-0. Yeah. And if I'm putting I was looking for my top Guna hat. I couldn't find that motherfucker. My top Guna hat. And I say, if next week we play Chelsea and we don't concede, we'll fuck around and go into the international break without conceding a goal.
I agree with that. With that.
Yeah, I think we get by them. So I think it's too soon for them to recover. 2-0 to the Toon, 3-0, 3-0 Forest. I'm here for that.
Gotta love
Forest did win there last year. Was it last year? No, it was the year before when Callum Hudson the door goal, wasn't it? Nuno.
I think that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, Nuno was coach.
Get the hell out of here.
Another Puskas contender. I mean, he did have a Puskas 2 years ago, right? That bicycle kick against Everton.
Yeah, it was Everton. Yeah,
he must watch that clip every day. He must play that back and be like, "Yeah, I can."
He has to because he's shit.
Bad one, man. But big up, people. We've gone over 2 hours. We appreciate you rocking with us over 2 hours, man. Bro, what you got coming up for the people, man? Any call-in shows coming for the folks in the
I think a call-in show will be in next week once we finish up transfers. I think maybe Wednesday or Thursday we'll do a call-in show. And then we have I got the Napoli Como watch along this weekend Sunday, and then me and Shane got a show now called the Not So Good Fellas. On Wednesdays, where we'll be covering the Premier League and the Serie A, and then and then next week we're right back here for the Around the Leagues. I can't wait for this once American football starts.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Once the football starts, because there will be some tears this season, there will be some tears this season. I just hope the losses and the draws are few and far in between, because if I ask you over the next 26, so match week 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Arsenal are 20 wins, 3 losses and 3 draws, you think that's a fair return
by match day 26? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that would be like what, 63 points. That would put us right on track for the 80 points, for the 90 points that I think we're gonna win. So yeah.
I want to see us win the league by 10 points.
Yeah, that would be common. I think that would help us focus on the Champions League, and if we got it wrapped up in time where we can, rest some of the guys and get some guys back from possibly injury.
I still think we're not ready yet for Champions League. I agree. I still think it's that foundation building that you saw with Chelsea and City, where they won so many trophies before they finally got over the line.
Yeah,
but I want to see us win the FA Cup in the Premier League. I want to see a double this year.
I hear it, man. I hear it. But big up to you, man. And big up to the chat for rocking with us. Big up to Chike and Sue for the super chats. Yep. For everyone who came up from DJ, make sure that you're subbed to Gianni. His channel will be pinned in the name of the video. As for now, people, I'm going to say goodbye to you, but I'm going to send you over to Flawless, Sarcasm City TV. So go hit Flawless with a BBK raid from Gianni and I. And like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.